Hi, my name's Tish Daniel, and I'm the Center Director at Northerly Island Park with the Chicago Park District. And today I'm going to read a story from a Treasury of African American Christmas Stories. And the name of today's story is called A Christmas Story. It is Christmas night, and Mr. and Mrs. Leslie are seated in their cozy parlor surrounded by their 4 children, Kitty, Susie, Willie, and Minnie, who is Papa's pet and allowed to do almost anything she pleases. They are talking about the one thing Christmas brings, Santa Claus, each busy telling what is wanted. They keep such chattering you can scarcely hear your ears. When Mr. Leslie says, "Children, it is 10 o'clock," all the noise is stopped at once and their faces become very sad, for they all know that it is their bedtime, and knowing their father's rules, not one dares protest, although the time has passed unusually quick. At last, the silence is broken by Pet, or Minnie. "I am not going to bed at all tonight, Papa. I am determined to see Santa Claus this night. For Lucy Bennett told me when we were coming home from school that Ma and Pa were the Santa Claus and they put all the things into our stockings. But I told her I did not believe it. I am 10 years old and I've never seen Santa Claus in my whole life, so I shall sit up all night." "Well, you won't get anything," says Kitty. "I don't care for anything but to see Santa Claus," answers Minnie. Her mama smiled and said, "I am afraid my little girl could not bear the sight of Santa, even if she could stay awake until he comes, which is very doubtful." "I know he won't give you anything because you're so inquisitive," says Willie. "All the reason you get anything is because he feels sorry for a poor tongue-tied boy like yourself that you can't even talk plain," responds Minnie. "You won't be so fierce in the morning when you begin to beg," retorts Willie. "Willie!" calls his mother. "You ought to be ashamed of yourself for teasing your sister so. Go to bed right this moment." All of the children trooped off to bed. Mama and Papa went up to their room, leaving poor Minnie all alone. As the stockings were all hung in the parlor, Minnie says to herself, "He's obliged to pass through here, and I will sit close to my own stocking so I can see when he goes to put the goodies in." Minnie exclaims as she hears the clock strike 11. "I am so glad it is 11. I won't have time to wait long. I won't have to wait too long. They say he always comes at 12. If poor Minnie had known what she was destined to see at 12, she would have gone to bed. But she did not. And so the time goes by, and it's almost 12 o'clock. Minnie is so sleepy. She looks at the clock, only a quarter to 12. "I cannot go to sleep. I must see him. And besides, how they will laugh when I tell them I got sleepy and couldn't wait." Just then, she goes off, and the clock strikes 12. The door opens, and in walks Santa Claus, followed by 20 of his Confederates. Santa Claus himself is a fat little man with white, bushy beard and white hair, covered with a frost of many, many winters. He has a doll for Kitty, a horse and wagon for Willie, dresses for Sue, and in fact everything they all wanted, but for Minnie he had nothing. Minnie began whimpering. "Well, what's the matter?" says Santa in a gruff voice, as if he had just seen her. "I want something too." "There will be more than you want presently," and he proceeded to fill the stockings. When he had filled all but Minnie's, he gave a whistle and marched through the room and passed out, followed by another whom she had not seen. His name was on his cap, and Minnie saw that it was Disobedience. He was loaded with articles of every description. Minnie saw her blue silk dress, which she remembered wearing to an evening party when her mother told her not to do so. Then there was her last birthday present, a silver cup from Papa, which her mother told her never to carry to the spring, but she disobeyed and dropped it into the spring. Then there were many other things, too numerous to mention. All this Minnie took in at a glance. He passed on another and took his place. He had scraps of rickrack, crochet, and knitting dangling from head to foot. He also carried a box in his hand which was filled with dolls' clothes, dresses, and aprons without sleeves and without hems. There were the mittens she promised to Widow James but never finished. He passed on, and another came in with Minnie's books, torn and scratched with dolls' heads, and men and women drawn on them, which would make you laugh to see. The next had half-worn shoes and stockings, which might have been given to some children in need, but Minnie had not had allowed them to lie around out of doors until they were unfit for use for anyone. Another came in, making such horrible faces that Minnie covered her face with her hands and began to scream, which awakens her to find that she had only been dreaming. She is as cold as she can be, for the fire went out and the room is dark. Minnie jumps up and goes to bed, where Kitty has been for at least 3 hours. The next morning, the children were up searching their stockings, which were filled with everything they had asked for. And to Willie's surprise, Minnie's stockings were overflowing. You may be sure that was a memorable Christmas for Minnie. And I need not tell you that she is over 40 years old now, and she has never tried waiting up for Santa again. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed this activity and are looking for more fun things to do from home, join us on our YouTube channel or visit us at www.chicagoparkdistrict.com.